welcome to episode 18 of CrossFit Harris podcast. Today I wanted to talk to you about consistently doing exceptional things. So don't become a creature of habit, become a creature of consistently exceptional habits. Now, a lot of trainers, coaches, athletes, a lot of their physical success simply comes from consistency across the board. And I think, I'd like to think I've broken these down into the most three simple or simplistic categories, and that's eating, training, and lifestyle. Now, are you someone who eats because you're bored? Are you someone who eats because you're hungry, or do you eat to support your physical goal and the tasks that are ahead of you? How often do you pick at things because you can't stop, or you eat until you're lethargic and you get to that point where you can literally rest your hands on top of your stomach? The main thing here to think about is eating to support your goal and then complementing that with training. Now, can you say that you're eating with purpose? Do you know why you're eating what you're eating? Is it supporting your goal? Is it satisfying you mentally for the next 10 minutes or 15 minutes? Your body requires energy, and it gets energy through food, and it needs quality food, not bursts of sugar. Now, in order to bring your blood sugar levels down, insulin is released to regulate it. Now, without going into too much, but insulin is a hormone made in your pancreas that allows your body to use sugar in glucose from carbs in the food that you eat for energy or to store glucose for future use. Insulin helps keep your blood sugar levels from rising or getting too high. Where you go, you've probably seen the term hyperglycemia, or you can go too low, which is hypoglycemia. The cells in your body need sugar for energy, but sugar cannot go into most of your cells directly. And after you eat your food and your blood sugar level rises, cells in your pancreas are signaled to release insulin into your bloodstream. So imagine how many times you've had such a high intake of sugar, let alone an oversized portion. Now this affects your bodies in more ways than one. And I can go into it in many different ways and talk about it forever. But for those of you who watch Only Fools and Horses, your friends Johnny Walker and Ron Bacardi, once you've sunk them along with the mixers, Diet Coke and Fanta or whatever you have it with, your body is working overtime. So not only on a weekly basis are you ingesting too much sugar through food, overeating, you do it then through alcohol and over the weekend, or potentially you drink during the week. Now, both of these topics in terms of food and alcohol can be consumed through emotions. So how many times in the day, think about it, do your emotions go up and down? Some people will be very impulsive and eat to make them feel better. And some people will go the other way and they will have alcohol. So you can see how easy it is to gain weight, and I've not even scratched the surface just yet. So now you've got a bit of an understanding as to why it's so important to eat to support your goal. So if you're someone who's sitting there going, why am I maybe not in shape? I'm doing all these hours training. Are you eating and drinking what's supporting what you want to feel like, what you want to look like, how you want to appear to yourself in the mirror or to other people? It's now time to use that food that you eat to fuel your training, and do the most appropriate training for your goal. So that leads me into loads of things in terms of if you have a particular goal that you want to achieve from training, is your training based on what you want to achieve out of, through fitness, aesthetically or physically? The main goal for people that I interact with personally on a daily basis is to become fitter and healthier. There are lots of goals that we speak to people with regards to weight loss and adding muscle, and these are usually, for me, I think really these should be byproducts of what people discuss or what they want as goals, because we do discuss losing weight and adding muscle, but actually just by having the will to become fitter and healthier, losing weight or adding muscle will be a byproduct of that. And rather than you focusing so much again on the end product, remember we said in the last few podcasts, if your goal, for example, is to lose 15 kilo, lose 1 kilo and do that 15 times as opposed to just focus on the 15. But you will find that becoming fit and healthy will lead you down into that path of a more direct goal, and then you can start putting a lot more time and energy into a more specific goal. And a lot of people will chase an aesthetic goal because they've seen someone in a magazine, they've seen someone on Instagram, they want to look like this person, but again, chasing the end goal and not doing the things in between to get there. So have you ever thought about why most successful people in the gym, or take it into whatever, we always say, take it into whatever categories you want, life, career, are where they are. Have you ever thought about why they are there? It's because they do everything to the best of their ability every time, no exceptions, and not for when it suits them. And that's my point of, don't just become a creature of habit, become a creature of consistently exceptional habits. And you can start that from just through getting up in the morning, just through what you consume, just through your activity. So you've got to look at the kind of, if you were to do a contrast and look at, even if someone that you, let's say, admire is very successful in a certain area of their life through fitness, life, or whatever, or whatever it might be, even if they fail at something, they never look back and think, I could have given it more effort. It's never really like that. They'll definitely learn from the mistakes, but it's not a matter of effort. So when you're going into your goal of training or wanting to look a certain way, or having an external pressures, and firstly, we do need to remove those external pressures. You should be doing things for yourself and yourself only. Yes, there is the element of those of you who listen who have children, you want to become more active, of course, but internally, it should be a personal goal of yours. But my point that I'm getting at is that it's you're doing a lot of the wrong things to try and make it right, and it's not reversible. These people that fail at something don't look back and say, I should have given it more effort. They'll learn from mistakes, but are you learning from your mistakes, and have you put the right effort in? So yes, you are putting effort in, but are you putting your whole effort across the board? Are you putting equal effort into your fitness in terms of training? Are you putting equal effort into the food and the drinks that you consume? Are you putting equal effort into how much sleep and recovery you get? Probably not. You're probably putting a lot of your time, effort, and energy into training, but actually think that because you train so hard, that everything else should fall into place and should just find its feet. It doesn't work like that. Average people, let's say, or day-to-day people, have those thoughts of, I could have done this for better if I gave more effort. Because they say you just don't give it your all. And are you falling into a category of, like, you're putting all your energy into one basket, but actually there's 10 things that you need to think about, and you're actually only putting your effort and energy into 2 of the 10. So because you're not giving it all, you're going to find that you're not always going to get the results that you want out of it. And these type of people don't give 100% of effort in everything they do all the time. They just do it some of the time, and you can't expect to have that result if you're just doing things some of the time. So don't fall into that category of a day-to-day person. Are you that person that ends up feeling a sense of, like, regret, and what if later on, a couple of weeks down the line, or later on in the day, what if I did go and do that? What if this? That's the same for me. The same type of person who has all these goals. You've got a list of them. You've got these ambitions. You like the idea of finishing, but you don't like the idea of actually physically running the race. And that's what we need to change. You can't expect not to run the race and win. And as a result of this, your lifestyle improves and changes a bit. So we've spoken a lot about training in that respect and doing the right things. But we said at the beginning that eating, training, lifestyle were 3 things that I could simplify. But because you've done all these things above, your lifestyle improves. You make better decisions, you meet new people on the same journey as you get this aura about you, there's this buzz, you're surrounded by positive people. It is so infectious when you are around positive people. And yet at the same time, it's actually very infectious when you're around negative people, because that can also have a detrimental impact, or detrimental. It can be detrimental to your mindset, it can be detrimental to your end goal. For me, my advice to you is be absolutely fearless. You have to find something within you to just keep going. And it won't come externally. Yes, it will help you. There are external things that can be around you that will definitely help you, but ultimately it's what's inside you. A lot of us try to be perfectionists in a lot of things that we do, and I do hear a lot of people, and this blows my mind when I have this conversation, when people call the gym and I don't think CrossFit's for me, or fitness, I'm going to go and get fit. And I'm like, have you just heard what you've said? You do not have to be perfect to come into where someone's going to help you, or in general, you don't have to be perfect. You want to go and get fit before you start your fitness journey. Where does that sit with you? That shouldn't sit well. That doesn't make any sense. You're not a perfectionist. And maybe you're just scared. You're scared of change, scared of the hard work. And maybe as an adult, you're scared to have to self-discipline. You know, as I said in a lot of other podcasts before, as an adult, when was the last time you learned a new skill? And if you've come out of lockdown and not got better at something, learned a new skill, or found out something new about yourself, you've probably wasted a good 4 months, at least. Any successful program, weight loss goal, anything, bodybuilding, any program, anything to it, just anything. I can't stress that enough. Can be so simple, but you can't confuse simple with easy, and that's where people go wrong. Oh, it's easy. I've just got to work out more, and I'll lose weight, or I've just got to eat healthy and then I'll lose weight. I've got to add more protein. But actually, if you don't incorporate this into your day to day and that kind of mind shift or mindset shift, it's not going to be so easy. It's easy once it becomes a habit, an exceptional habit. And now there's one thing that you can completely control in this world, and it is the power of choice. You can choose, and it is solely down to you where you put your energy, what things mean, and what you choose to do. Are you consistently choosing to make exceptional habits? Think about it.